The desire to be diplomatic and keep the peace is a very, very strong one that is very highly related to the Libra energy. Having balance in relationships and really being the peaceful warrior is what it's all about when it comes to high functioning Libra energy. In this video, I'm going to be discussing Mars, planet of action and assertion, entering Libra on August 6th. And I'm going to be discussing the other aspects going on for the week of August 3rd through 9th of this year. So we have several things going on this week, and I want to really, really delve into each and every aspect that is significant for this week. Let's begin. On August 6th, the very first aspect is the Sun will form a square to Black Moon Lilith. So the Sun is in Libra, Black Moon Lilith is in Scorpio, around 14 degrees of their sign. So this is an opportunity which gives us the chance to assert our true nature, to really boldly and bravely express who we are and assert ourselves in our life. If we have not been doing that, this is the time to step into the plate and step into that hot seat of assertion. Now, with this energy, there may be difficulties when it comes to asserting yourself. There may be limitations. It may be very, very hard to have the confidence to do this. You may feel ashamed, and there is this feeling of a lack of worthiness or lack of feeling inadequate when it comes to going after your desires. You have this conditioning, you have this mental thought process going on, which uh, restricts you from going after your desires, which can be very limiting and inhibiting. So, it's all about limitation and confinement when it comes to what your goals are. So if you are feeling confined, then you are being invited to step out of that feeling and move into something much freer, move into something much smoother, much creamier. You may not be able to express your deepest desires fully, the deep primal desires that are worthy within you. Not your conditioning, not the mask you put on, not what your ego wants, but what your deep-seated desires that your soul wants. Now, it's a good time to practice the serenity prayer, which clearly states accepting the things that you cannot change and having the courage to change the things that you can. And knowing the difference between the things that you can't change and the things that you can change. That's what the Serenity Prayer asks us, and it's a good time as any to practice that prayer. If the energy is too intense and too rambunctious, this is the time to calm yourself down, meditate, put barefoot on earth, go out in nature, you name it. Now, there may be themes of power play and dominance which may come about at this time. So, having power games with others, struggling to speak your voice, struggling to have control, struggling to have power, struggling to dominate. That's really what this aspect can come down to with people that are sort of forces to be reckoned with. There may be a lot of aggressive or assertive people ready to speak out about the problems of the status quo of society, about society's issues, and not only talking about them and voicing them, but the reason why we voice negativity and criticism is not so that people can just go along their merry way and not do anything about it, but because people want things fixed, because they want an issue resolved and altered. That's why you assert yourself, is not only to express yourself, but the physical thing in your reality gets changed because of your voicing of the opinion, so that it's not in vain. It cannot be in vain. So if you know that, when you voice the concerns and the negativity for things that you want change, do it in a way where that those things can get altered around and rearranged and fixed. So this is really all about realizing your dreams and being the best version of yourself that you can be, going after your dreams, pursuing your aspirations, the aspirations and dreams that are not based off of others' validation or approval or others' criticisms of you. If you have a fear of putting your ideas out into the world and acting upon your desires will be met with criticism, release that fear and go after it anyway, not really caring what other people think. Be your own independent, sovereign self. This can bring about a sense of your intuition being very refined and being very up the ante nature. So when it comes to following your intuition, whatever motivation you have to pursue, to take a leap of faith, this is a good time to do that and trust your intuition. If your intuition is saying it's time to pivot, it's time to make a leap of faith. Tame your desires in a healthy way. Don't repress them, don't suppress them, but respond to those desires rather than react to them. This is a time to assert your desires and being comfortable in your own skin with your own inner self, coming home to yourself, not necessarily your physical home that you live in, but coming home within your body, within your soul, that kind of thing. Um, and really asserting yourself in that kind of way. Now, the big energy that's going on August 6th is Mars changes signs and moves into Libra until September 22nd. Now, one way to look at this, and I know that my dad has Mars in Libra and a whole collection of planets in either detriment or fall positions in terms of dignity. Not that I subscribe to that belief, though, because any planet can express its energy um, through whatever sign it's in its own unique way. But it is said by the ancients that Mars in Libra is considered to be in its sign of detriment because Libra is opposite Aries, because Mars has to act in a way that it's not comfortable acting in. Libra is very diplomatic, very peacemaking, wants peace, doesn't want to fight. Mars is all about aggression, separation, fighting. Libra is about bringing people together. So you can see how these energies are very, very different. But throwing that belief away, Mars expresses itself in Libra in its own unique way, and we must not put planets on a pedestal above or below other positions of planets because every transit has its positives and its negatives. So every transit must be on an equal playing field. So with that said, what this is about between the 6th of August and the 22nd of September, which is the day after the solar eclipse in Virgo, which I'll talk about when we get there. Um, this is about getting our way using our charm. That's really where we can turn that kind of thing on. Now, labor is all about weighing things out, reflecting on all the options, looking at all the different sides of an issue, looking at all the different decisions to make, weighing out all the pros and cons before making a decision. So we're being invited to, during this transit, weigh out all of these pros and cons before we just go into action. We're not feeling aggressive. We're feeling like we want to do everything that we can. We're very motivated to achieve peace, to have peace be at all costs. We're very determined and motivated for peace and balance at all costs. Maybe we're not the most direct when it comes to going after our goals. Maybe we're more worried about other people's opinions and what other people think of us. And the trouble with Mars and Libra is that it can't just act decisively. It's always weighing about what are others going to think of us before we act in this decision. Mars just wants to go and wants to act. So you can see the difference. You can see the opposition and the juxtaposition of Mars and Libra. Now, this at the high road can be a good energy for debates. That is really what it's all about. And so there is this passive aggressiveness, which is the at the low level of this transit. So being very not assertive, but being passive aggressive. The real good thing here is we can compromise. We can find win-win solutions where we're meeting people in the middle and finding solutions where both parties can feel happy and satisfied. We strive for peace and balance at all costs. During this transit, justice and fairness matters more than anything else. The focus here is on our relationship. So, what are we going to do, Mars, in our relationships, which is the labor piece of this? So, what are we going to change in our relationships? How are we going to show up for our relationships? How are we going to not be independent or codependent, but co-independent? That's really the high road of this transit. So, we can really put a lot of focus on communication and our community at this time. We're like we want to be fiercely and very assertively generous and diplomatic. This is a time to follow and trust and listen to your intuition, not your ego or not what other people think of you. Um, this is energy which is not about fighting. It is wanting to keep the peace, putting peace, balance, and harmony as your top value. Um, so your relationships may be tested. This is a good time to act on your actions before, reflect on your actions before just going into action on them. Um, bring balance to your relationships with others and yourself. This is a really, really important piece of this Mars and Libra story. Um, so we want to really make sure that our relationships are balanced very well. And so any relationship outside of us, any external relationships is a mirror, is a reflection of our own inner relationship with ourselves on our inner world. You want to work on communication at this time and build your tribe. That's what you really want to thrive in at this time is just communicating and building your community. 2 days later, on August 8th, Mars will oppose Saturn. Mars is in Libra at 1 degree, Saturn is in Aries at 1 degree. So what this means if Mars is opposite Saturn is this energy because these are the two malefics in hard aspect. So Saturn is very much about the limitations of time. It's the Lord of karma, about all of your actions have consequences, and it's about learning the lessons of those consequences. Saturn is all about that. It's all about limitation as well. So Mars opposite Saturn can be, um, it can put a lot of anger and frustration in our minds and in our hearts when it comes to certain feelings that we feel. We need to evaluate, are our desires fulfilled? Have our desires been fulfilled? What are the desires that are unfulfilled that we need to fulfill? This could bring about outrage, which could require self-discipline and patience. That's really what this transit is all about when it comes to knowing that you can't achieve your goals overnight. That if you want to make social change, if you're a change maker, if you want to change society, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to be persistent in your transformation of that. There can be feelings of weakness or inadequacy that can come about at this transit, feeling a low sense of self-worth, not having a whole lot of self-worth, feeling just not feeling strong enough to achieve your desires. Yeah. So, personal attacks from others may take a toll on you, may bring out your dark sides, may bring out that negative part of you, may bring out the worst qualities in you. Others could threaten or attack your status or career. That could be another possibility with this. It may be hard to express anger. What can you do to release the anger from your body in constructive kinds of ways? What can you do in this case that are constructive? Is it physical exercise? Is it singing? Is it dancing? Whatever it is. Any strenuous and very heavy physical activity is advised for you to act upon at this time. Um, Physical activity can help burn off your anger, and you want to let people know if they're bullying you, if they're hurting you, or if they're insulting you. Be assertive, call it out, let others know, which include calling out narcissists in your life. So you want to channel this energy into productive tasks. So that kind of thing is very important. You want to have self-discipline and patience and commitment toward your goals. Face obstacles and fear when it comes to continuing to pursue your plans. There may be a lot of frustrations with the delays on projects that can come about for you at this time. You want to break free of what is not serving you. That is very, very important at this time. It may be hard to do this if you are feeling restricted in any way. And so you want to go after your own desires and the pursuits that you want to go after, and this may be in conflict with the very foundations and stable structures of your life. If your obligations do not serve you, if they do not bring you peace or balance or joy, then don't continue to fulfill these obligations that you know are not good for you. And so, um, this is all about there may be tension between your past and the future that you want to build for your life. Um, and so this could also be about breaking stable foundations in your life. Now, another aspect going on this day is that Mars will trine Uranus at 1 degree and 8 minutes. Mars is in Libra, Uranus is in Gemini. They're both at 1 degree. So this transit could be all about, because Uranus is the change maker, it is the maverick, it is the revolutionary. It's about breaking the systems and structures if they are constraining you and moving one step closer to your authentic self. Um, and so that's what Uranus wants for you. And so this could be about experiencing new relationships and situations. This could also be about breaking free from any constraints or limitations in your life. This could be very, very good for that kind of thing. Um, you also really want to have fun and take calculated risks. That's very, very important at this time um, to do that. There may be strong and accurate instincts which may lead to positive results from risk taking. That may be very, very huge and heavy at this time. So, your instincts are going to be on point, and the risks that you take are going to yield positive results. Others will really like the new version of you with your new ideas and projects. You want to get new and fun projects initiated and off the ground. This is good energy for that. You want to break free from limitations, which could include relationships. at this time, which is very, very important. The changes that you make may and will shock you and those around you. You want to have, there's this conflict here between relationships based off of physical chemistry versus emotional connection. Become independent from a partner in your life. If a partner is restricting you, confining you, break free from that. There may be a need for fun and excitement. There may be increased joy and excitement with experimentation. And you want to be open-minded towards you and your partner. There's this open-minded connection between each other. So now, on August 9th, Mars will oppose Neptune. So Mars already opposed Saturn, now it's going to oppose Neptune. About 1 degree of Aries moving retrograde, just like Saturn is moving retrograde. So Mars opposite Neptune could present you with discouragement and feelings of weakness. You're feeling not strong, you're feeling tired, you're feeling unmotivated. This is not good energy for competition. Your chances of winning are not high or good. You may fall prey to passive aggressiveness, self-deception, or addiction. It's very important for you to be aware of being deceived by others and being very discerning about the relationships that you put your energy and focus on and your trust in. Um, Anything that is adrenaline boosting, you want to be very discerning about that. Express your energy through a creative or spiritual outlet. You may find a lot of deception or you may lose sight with reality. Do not fall prey to negative group thing, which is very, very important. There may be a lot of drug use or addictive behavior, which will be very highlighted for you during this time. It may confuse truth and illusion as well. So then moving on to the full moon in Aquarius, which is occurring today at 17 degrees. So the sun is in Leo at 17 degrees, the moon is in Aquarius at 17 degrees. Full moons are times of completion, culmination, and climax. They bring issues to a head. Anything that we know but don't acknowledge, we will acknowledge, and those things will come up for healing during a full moon. Leo and Aquarius is the one opposition that overlaps more than any other opposition. You cannot have one without the other. They're both about both the dichotomy and the combination of being individuals but also being part of the group. Leo is about validation, shining. Aquarius is about being very open-minded and humanitarian. So you can see how these two signs overlap just very easily, or one goes to the other automatically. So things that will interest us now will be anything that is fresh and new. Full moons illuminate what is already in existence. Any humanitarian impulse, if we want to do something that is very humanitarian, this is good energy for that. There may be more meaning in our pursuits, which may be very, very huge and strong at this time. It may be hard to conquer challenges. Um, you may be feeling depleted unless we have a plan to go after our goals. This is how we may be feeling. There's a higher meaning to our struggles, which is very, very important. We want to stay focused and determined when pursuing our goals. Do not fall prey to deceit and stay true to your path. This is all about meeting people from far and wide. Aquarius and Leo are both about our passions, expressions, dreams, and visions. That's the 11th house, and our connections with others. They're very expansive, very connected energies. Leo is about romance and creativity. Aquarius is about our communities and our visions of the future. Now, the sun will oppose the moon. So, with the sun opposite the moon, there may be tense and confrontational environments that we may be in. Conflict can be very draining for us at this time. We want to draw on emotional strength to overcome egoic struggles. So anything like that we need to overcome. Emotional burdens may be placed on us. The weight of the world can feel like it's on our shoulders. Um, We need to balance emotion with intention. What is behind your desire to nurture others? Is it a good motive? Is it egoic? Or is it spiritual on a soul level? We may feel the need for approval for you're showing affection to others. Ambitions and career goals may be in conflict with family, life, and emotional needs at this time. We may pursue success in ways that go against your inner wisdom. Trust and follow your intuition is very important. Balance your egoic needs with nurturing and taking care of others. Now, finally, the moon will square Lilith. So this full moon is not making a lot of aspects, but it is square Lilith. So your emotions and intuition, um, your emotions and intuition are met with resistance and suppression by others. It may be hard to find validation for your emotions. It may be hard to feel emotionally secure now. It may take a lot of more work to feel emotionally secure. Our emotions may be very intense and complex. Any hidden emotion, any deep-seated emotion will rise to the surface to get looked at and acknowledged and healed. We may be experiencing mood swings and emotional conflicts. This is a good time to confront fears and insecurities that we may have been avoiding. Growth and transformation is very, very important to step into. We may have a deeper understanding of our fears, of our desires and boundaries. We may face difficult truths, which will lead to personal empowerment. And it's a good time to embrace our shadow sides. So that is the astrology for the week of August 3rd, 2025. Thank you for tuning in, and bye for now.